From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big early mornings here on LALATE with great updates about your fourth stimulus check of 2021. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, we go over the breaking news that came on Friday from Leader Schumer, the breaking news that came yesterday from Mayor Pete. They confirmed the reconciliation process has begun. They confirmed the vote is looming, and I have all the incredible details on how much you're going to get from the LALATE bill in the House and the proposal for the Senate. It's incredible, great news to start an early morning. Then, in the second half of this video, we'll be going over fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up a lifetime, and why we're going to watch for new evidence coming out this week that shows how high it can go. And then, in the middle of this recording, we go over the big money that land your bank account this week, and the exciting news as more viewers continue to get this money. It's a big morning. It's a big early morning. The toast is toasted. The butter is buttering. I'm here. You're here. I'm excited for you on this big new week. And let's get to it, starting right now. It's Tuesday morning, and let's get to the breaking details about that fourth stimulus check. But first, how are you? How's the weather where you are? Drop in the comments where you're watching from and tell me how the weather is. It is beautiful today, this early morning. It was gorgeous yesterday on Memorial Day as well. So let's see how the rest of this Tuesday folds out here in Southern California. Drop in the comments how the weather is and where you're tuning in from. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, today we go over the breaking news that came in from Leader Schumer on Friday, which you may have missed, and the huge news from Mayor Pete that came in yesterday. We'll be going over that monthly stimulus check. And then the second half of this video, we go over fifth stimulus. There's new economic data coming this week and could give us more insight as to how big that fifth stimulus, that SSI and SSDI, Social Security and railroad benefits and veterans benefits will be lifted up, and see how big it could be implied and changed lifetime. Then in the middle of this quarter, we have thousands of dollars. If viewers continue to rock, I'm going to go over how you can get it as well. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoon, and overnights as well. Currently airing on this channel is Overnight's Crypto, so jump into that show after this. But first, let's get to the breaking details after you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Next stop, 1 million. Subscribe. Also like this video and consider becoming a member. All right, let's get right to the details of that fourth stimulus check. There's both a House bill from LALATE and a Senate proposal. Let's compare and contrast them. First, the House bill from LALATE provides a monthly stimulus check of the pandemic plus 1 year. Let's look and see how it's slightly different across the board. LALATE's bill provides a monthly check would be going out every month for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year thereafter. The Senate proposal, on the other hand, provides a stimulus check from July to December. If you're watching the show when it debuts at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, jump in the live chat and vote House or Senate, but not just yet. Let's look at the monthly amount and see how it differs across the board. So the monthly amount from LALATE's House bill is $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. Interesting. The Senate plan, the amount is unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Wow. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000 an individual. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400 an individual. Now, before you vote, let's go back and understand the macroeconomics that could be impacting LALATE's bill. LALATE's bill provides a stimulus check for the pandemic plus 1 year, but some legislators may contend the pandemic is over. If it's over, that would be 12 months of checks. 12 months of checks under LALATE's bill is $13,000 compared to 6 months at this. Oh, yes. Which one do you like now? Jump in the comments, Senator House, and tell me where you're watching. How's the weather? All right, let's go over all the other details you need to know about fourth stimulus. First, who gets it? You do. So if you make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. If you are a household of four or less, you get the fourth stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you are on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check would be the same amount for adult dependents, minor dependents, and everyone else. No different amounts, same amount for everyone. The fourth stimulus check would not come out in waves because they can't do it. It's a monthly stimulus check. And the fourth stimulus check would not be taxable. It's not income. And finally, do we know anything about child support? We do not. Remember, I'm just a reporter. I report the news. I don't make the representations. The legislators make the representations, and they represent the vote would be by July 4th. That means that you would get the fourth stimulus check in the month of July, for the month of July, in the month of August, for the month of August. And that's your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 to start. But in a second, I'm going to go over the breaking news from Leader Schumer on Friday and what Mayor Pete said yesterday. Oh boy, it is good news. All right, let's get to a preview of the second half of this video, which is the fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and then apply a new benchmark. This week, we're going to see a little bit more about that benchmark and how it can be really wonderful. Boy, I'm excited for that detail. Stay with me. That's the end of this video. But in the middle, let's get to some details right now about money you can get. Oh boy. Not a single day goes without, not a single hour goes without a viewer sending me a message saying, thank you, LA. I got this money for this or that, rent or utilities or SNAP. Gail last night sent me a message, said she got money for SNAP increases, $100 a month. Wow, wonderful. Congratulations, Gail. So let's go over these details, and starts with this. $350 billion coming for you. Not just all for you. Yeah, there's a check of $350 billion for you. No, it's the share. So let's share alike. It's coming from your state, from the federal government to your city, county, and state last week and this week. What is it for? It's for rent, utility, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities. How do you get it? Get that pen and paper ready. Stay with me to the end of this video. I got a lot of money to get you, and it's starting right now. It starts with rent, then mortgage assistance, utility assistance, and renters utility assistance. All right, where do you get it? 6 locations. Got that pen and paper ready? Here we go. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. When you reach out to all 6, or when you reach out to each of the 6, remember, they all have different eligibility. So if one says no, reach out to another one. One may say no, and the next one may say yes. They each have their own pot of money as well. So what are you going to say when you reach out to them? You're going to say rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You do not say stimulus. And remember, you can also say Biden Economic Recovery Act. So how much can you get? About $5,000 for rent. Yes, 4 to 6 months of rent, about $5,000. Wow. Tim got this money. Linda got this money. Every few hours, someone else sends me a wonderful message to say they got the money. Well, let's turn to the next pot of money. And it's huge. It's one of the big success stories of this channel. It's SNAP. Lynn got it for her daughter, and got it for her son, and got it for her mom. Let's go over this money. First, what is it? Then how do you get it? And where do you get it? All right, what is this money? It is money for your food. Who is it from? Department of Agriculture. DOA. How much money is it? It's a fortune. It's a lot of money. It is $16,000 for a family of 4 in Hawaii now. Why so much money? Because of 2 executive orders, one from Biden and one from Trump, that raise everyone's benefits up 15% between now and December. So where and how do you get this? Reach out to the Department of Agriculture. And boy, we are doing great here so far. $16,000 for SNAP from Department of Agriculture for family 4 in Hawaii. $5,000 for rent. We are kicking it, and we are just 9 minutes as a video. Boy, I got more money for you, and it's coming right now. One viewer got $5,000, and the money is coming from your state. So let me go over all the details for you right now. The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment benefits in the last year due to computer error, no fault of your own, then asking you to return the money, which you did. Well, guess what? The federal government has ordered the states to return the money back to you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so one viewer is getting $5,000 from it. Let me go over how you get it and when you get it. How you get it? To the account you have on file with your Department of Unemployment. Automatic. When do you get it? Depends on the respective state. Every state has different routing times, so reach out to your respective state. Now, this next pot of money, I got a special nice message to a wonderful viewer. He jumped into our new hit show, Overnight's Crypto, which is currently airing live on the channel, approximately 2 days ago. And he jumped in the chat just to find me. He knew he could find me in that overnight show to tell me something about unemployment, nothing about crypto, about unemployment. He wanted you to know that he got his check for this last Friday, before Memorial Day weekend. And he wanted me to tell you, the viewers of this channel, to stay positive because your check's coming as well. Isn't that wonderful? That is the Purple Power spirit. Viewers helping viewers, me helping you. He wanted you to know that. Well, let's get to these details. What is this money? How do you get it? When do you get it? And what's the routing time? Let's go over all the nuances you need to know. First, what is this money? It is the money coming back from IRS to you for your taxes you paid on unemployment benefits under the 2020 return. Let's go over an example of this. Let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment benefits in 2020. You paid to the IRS $5,000 on your total tax bill of 2020, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment benefits. Congratulations, you're getting back a check of $4,000. Next, how are you getting the check? In the mail, unless you had a listing of a direct deposit account on that tax return. So go surgically through the mail over the next few weeks. Be careful because it's a razor thin envelope, beige or white. You don't want to discard it. Then when are you getting it? The first and second week of June, likely at this point. IRS represented that all the checks would be sent out by the end of May, not that you would receive the check by end of May. The first group, single filers, non-complex return. The second group, single filers, complex returns. And the third group, joint filers. Finally, if you want to track it, you can. 75% of the time, 75% of the time, it works. Go to irs.gov, sign in, and go to the set up a username and password. Put in your username, password, then do a social security number, put in, and then do what's called a transcript search. During a transcript search, you can search the activity under your social security number. The last tax return you filed, the last taxes you paid on that tax return, and then the refund check coming back from IRS. There we go. Boy, we are just kicking it. You are killing it. Every single hour of every single day, a viewer says, I got money. I got it for rent or utilities, whether it's $100 or $200. If you're one of those viewers, drop in the live chat, drop in the comments, drop it as every time as you're in the live chat. Because guess what? I see it empowers me. It empowers other viewers to understand they can get that money as well. And guess what? The only thing better than that is for stimulus. And I'm going to go over all the great details starting right now, but starting with Chuck Schumer. Last Friday, Chuck Schumer confirmed not one, but three things that I had been reporting on this channel over the last few weeks. And he made the announcement exactly at the day and time I told you was going to happen, Friday afternoon. So what did he announce? Number one, that the reconciliation process was already underway, as I had been reporting. Second, that the reconciliation process will end with a final vote by no later than about July 4th, which I had also been reporting. And finally, that the bipartisan negotiations for purposes of the legislature were done and no longer continuing after last Friday, which I had been reporting. There you go. Yesterday, Mayor Pete came out with a similar news statement as well, saying at some point you have to stop negotiations, just pass the law. So away we go with recon. How did we get here? Let's recap. 7 days earlier, Jalapal, who had written that House bill, had gotten over 100 Democrats in writing that House bill to write the president a letter saying, we're going to put that in multiple stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Well, about 7 days ago, Jalapal wrote Schumer a letter saying that, you know what, you have to put those multiple stimulus checks in. You have to call that vote now. What's taking so long? Call the vote. And ironically, 7 days after Jalapal wrote that letter, Schumer's calling the vote. Well, when Jalapal wrote that letter to Schumer about a week ago, guess what? About a dozen members co-signed that letter to Schumer saying call the vote. And among them are the ones that had signed that letter to the president saying we're going to put those multiple stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Oh, my goodness. Does it get better than that? It does. It does get better than that. A week ago, last Friday, 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying that we are going to work with you to put multiple stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Well, who are these people? What does that mean? When they say work with him, it's a euphemism because the president doesn't write legislation. They do. Who are these people? Who are they to write our stimulus checks? They're in the House subcommittee that solely and exclusively is responsible for writing stimulus checks. They wrote the first one, they wrote the second one, they wrote the third one, and they wrote the president a week ago that said we're going to write it in the fourth one. They are on the House Ways and Means Subcommittee. Oh my goodness. And they're writing the president no less than a week before reconciliation has already begun, saying we're putting it in there. Insane. That's just incredible, wonderful news. I think Captain Obvious is walking behind the set. We're sirloin right now. Let's continue with more news because it actually gets even better. That's last Friday, that same day, the president told his legislators, we ain't going to wait any longer. We will stop negotiations the Friday before Memorial Day. And that's exactly what Chuck Schumer's confirmed. Then last Tuesday, the president of the United States did a wonderful move. Surprised a lot of people, but it was a little complicated, so let me explain how it worked. The President of the United States reached out to global leaders around the country, the G7 nations, and said, would you agree to raise the corporate tax rate to 15%? And they tentatively said yes. Wonderful. But how does that impact us? Well, here's what insiders said. The president reportedly told insider legislators that after 4 stimulus is passed, that he's going to try to get those G7 countries to sign on the dotted line about that 15% minimum global corporate tax rate. And if they do, then he'll drop the U.S. corporate tax rate down to where it is about now at that point. Oh my goodness. So he's going to he's going to sign 4 stimulus into law, and then he's going to turn back and drop the corporate tax rate. This is incredible. Stimulus checks and then a lower corporate tax rate back to where we are now. Can it get better? It did get better. It got better that Wednesday when the president saw a counterproposal from the Republicans. 3 of them said, no deal, call the vote, Chuck. And then on Thursday, a week ago last Thursday, 3 senators, series of senators, Democrats, did exactly what you were waiting for them to do, saying, no deal, call the vote, Leader Schumer. And then on Friday, Schumer said, we're calling the vote. Oh my goodness. Later in this video, I'm going to be going over what calling the vote means so you understand all the details. And I have incredible, more exciting details about 4th stimulus. And then we'll be talking more about 5th stimulus. Wonderful, as it will change people's benefits lifetime. But first, I got some more money for you, and it's from the volunteers. If you've had problems finding the rent, utilities, internet, or similar, reach out to the volunteers. On the community page, they can help you. The difference with this channel is that people help one another, and since day one, that's how we've been doing it. And the volunteers are viewers just like you who have stepped forward to help you find this money. How do you find the community page? Open the description of this video. Go down to the point where it shows an emoji of a house and a link to the community page, news.la.com/community. On that page is a series of cats. Go down that page and you'll see the volunteers separated from Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Reach out to them. They'll help you find that money for rent, utilities, internet, homeowners help, and more. And guess what? I will be back in 60 seconds with more exciting news about 4th stimulus and 5th stimulus. Stay with me. I'll see you in about 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings LA with more exciting, great news about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 and your fifth stimulus package. How are you? Good morning, early mornings. The toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here. The bacon's missing, but we'll make up for that by subscribing. Subscribe, the fastest growing YouTube channel, 400,000 subscribers in 1 year for a reason. We make a difference. We help one another. We help each other. So hit that subscribe button, also like this video, and consider becoming a member. The link's in the top of the channel, pinned comment. Currently airing right now is Overnight's Crypto, so jump into that show over after this airs. And boy, more exciting details about fifth stimulus, and shortly I'll show you the importance of membership. So let's jump right into fifth stimulus right now. Fifth stimulus heats up this fall. That'll change your benefits lifetime, and I'll explain to you how and what we're looking for this week that could impact it. So fifth stimulus would raise your benefit limits up, then remove an asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, and then remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over the breaking news that we're anticipating this week and what happened over the weekend and calculate this out for you. All right, so fifth stimulus has that add-on of raising up your benefits. Whose benefits? Yours. So if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, your benefits will be raised up one big amount. Then they'll apply a benchmark. The benchmark is inflation. Now, we all know what inflation is, but what is a benchmark? A benchmark means that they look at what your current amount is, and they determine whether to raise it up or keep it the same. Now, we know inflation is not going to be 0% this year, but how high will inflation be? This week, we'll see more economic data that will suggest how high the inflationary rate may be in December. We heard from Jeremy Siegel about 2 weeks ago that said it could be 20%. We heard from the Federal Reserve last week that said the growth rate may go from 4% now to 10.5%. That sounds like 7% inflation. And then we had a lot of analysts talking about 4 to 6% inflation, 4 to 7% inflation. But this week, we'll see some more economic data to see if analysts are undervaluing the inflation, that it could be potentially much higher. If it's going to be higher now, it'll be a lot higher in December because they're expecting it to ramp up. So watch for that economic data on this channel this week that'll gauge us how high we're going to go. Here's an example. This is how fifth stimulus would heat up. First, they would raise up your benefits one time. Then they would look at the inflationary rate in December and apply the benchmark. Let's say it's 6%. Let's say it's 6%. So they would step you up 6% next year, but not just for next year. Lifetime. Because once they step you up, they don't step you down. It's a step up or flat. So if the year after that, 0% inflation, they don't step you down. They always keep you at plus 6%. Wow. So if it's 0 for 3 years, it'll still be plus 6%. But if after 3 years it's 2%, then you'll be at plus 2 plus 6%. Oh my goodness. With the highest inflation expected for a generation in December, your benefits will be raised up lifetime at an enormous number. Incredible news. Now let's go to the other items of this stimulus that are changing reform. They'll remove the asset limit, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't keep more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away just in time to put those stimulus checks in your hand. Then they're going to remove the income cap that says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. So you'll be able to work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty. Horrible law. It prevents you from getting married for fear of losing your benefits or penalizes you when you're married. It's going to go away, the marriage penalty. Love is going to win. You will be able to marry your longtime love interest and not suffer a marriage penalty. And if you have been married, you will no longer be penalized. Wonderful news. So fifth stimulus starts in September, out the door in October, November-ish, they represent. Then the step up would trigger in January of next year. But it's important to note that fifth stimulus has a lot of other things in there besides just the SSI and SSDI reform I went through. The President of the United States calls fifth stimulus the family plan, but guess what? There's money in there for single people. Single hazard pay, money in there for seniors as well. They're single. So how do you know that? How do you know it's in the fifth stimulus? By becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. Members are sent out every day from me, from the community page on YouTube, a list of what's in the fifth stimulus, the fourth stimulus, and the third stimulus. It's important to see that because in a given day, I can't cover everything that's in the fifth stimulus. There's a lot of wonderful stuff in there. And in a 30-minute video that's currently at 25 minutes, I don't have time to go through everything that's in fifth stimulus. But if you can't become a member, at least subscribe. Why? Because the month of July is going to be a very crowded month for legislation. And you may ultimately look at something and think it's something else because it's a little confusing. By subscribing, you learn all the details of what's in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th, and you don't miss any money that's entitled to you. Here's an example of how crowded and confusing the month of July is going to be. First, there's some other standalone Jalapal bills, so you can look at one and say, wait a second, is that? No, it's not. Then there is a budget bill that's going to a vote in July. That's not this budget bill. Even more confusing. And if that's not confusing enough, as the 4 stimulus checks are going to a vote and out the door, guess what are also going out? 3rd stimulus checks. Yeah, just a little confusing. And with that, it's important for me to inform you and keep you informed about everything you need to know. And so I want to cut now to how you need to know the voting process for the reconciliation. The voting process for the reconciliation is a 9-step process. It can't be done in 1 day, it can't be done in 2 days. The first half of the steps are procedural votes. The second half are substantive votes. Let's go over them so you know what's going to happen in the next few days. Step 1 is the House subcommittees vote on the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor votes on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate votes on the procedural bill. Step 4, the President signs the procedural bill into law. The tow truck has passed over the finish line. Now time to do the tow hitch. The substantive bill goes to the House subcommittees for voting. That's where the House subcommittees could put in the multiple stimulus checks, like the subcommittee on Ways and Means, the 7 members detailed earlier in this video. Then the House floor votes on the substantive bill. Then the Senate, over 2 days, votes on a vote-a-rama, which is where they can propose and introduce and vote on amendments to anything the House has done. So if the House has not put in multiple stimulus checks, the senators would put it in there. If the House has put in multiple stimulus checks, the Senate may modify it there an amendment. And then finally, the President signs into law. 9 steps. 9 steps required by the Constitution. Nothing is created solely due to nothing that is discretionary that has been created by one person. Nothing to cast blame on an individual person. These are steps required by the Constitution. And ultimately, there's no dragging of feet. There is no delaying. These are actually steps they're required to do. But as the purple power always pushes, we're about to start getting ready to push because ultimately we need to get everything over the finish line as a family together. So with that, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video, but I also have a surprise announcement for you. This channel is now expanding its coverage. As you may have noticed this morning, we did something a little bit different. Usually, we have always had 2 throwback videos on Overnight's LALATE. 2 nights ago, I added a 3rd, and it was a very big hit. It was put on in the evening, not in the early morning. So now we have expanded to 4 throwback videos, 2 in the evening and 2 in the early morning, so you have more fun to watch in the overnight period. And then, of course, Overnight Crypto, still in its normal time slot, original programming, all the other original programming, always on this channel. Next coming up is Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, followed by Noontime at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, both live and both original. And Mornings Crypto at 9:30. And once you're done with this show, jump into the live chat of the new hit 15-hour overnight show, Overnight's Crypto, with original programming across the board on that. And with that, thank you for joining me on a beautiful Tuesday morning. We're going to have a lot of breaking news across the board, so stay with me today by subscribing. 400,000 subscribers, next stop 1 million. YouTube record for 1 year. Let's kick it out of the ballpark for year 2. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. And with that, thank you for joining me on Early Mornings LALATE. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful early mornings. And I look forward to seeing you next on Mornings LALATE, Mornings Crypto, and at Noontime LALATE, all live coming up. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful start of your day. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, the coffee is brewing, but I can't find that darn bacon. Who has my bacon here? Stay with LALATE for more.